Hi, I'm Jacob with the Preppers Bunker Outdoors. Today I am really excited to give you my first impressions of the Hogue F02. First things, let's check out the specs on this knife. Like usual, let's talk about the blade, the handle, and then the sheath. The blade on this little Hogue is really nice. The edge is pretty thin, but not thin enough to weaken it substantially. It's just the perfect happy medium between having a really thin edge that slices well and a really thick edge that's tough but doesn't slice well. While doing fine work, I usually don't talk about using the knife much in my first impressions, but while doing fine work, it's just wonderful. It's got a nice high grind. I opted to get the model that does not have a blade coating, just because, like with most bushcrafters, I so often strip the blade coating anyways. And for me being in the bush, the blade coating is not even needed because it's 154 cm, so it is a stainless, and I don't have to worry too awfully much about corrosion anyways. It has a nice sharp tip. That's something that I don't use very often, but I think that it's going to be very nice as a multi-purpose knife, not only for bushcraft, but also for skinning, light batoning, and whatever else. I mean, if pressed into service, I'm sure it could be a fine combat knife as well. The handle's not what you're used to on this channel. It's not exposed tang. It's made out of a very tough Zytel material. It's comfortable. It's not going to freeze. It's not going to freeze to your hands. I have no doubts about the toughness of the handle. I think the Zytel, it's a glass reinforced nylon. It's such a tough material that I don't think that it's going to have some of the separation issues that I've had in the past with Kraton and softer materials. But it's got a nice little comfort swell in the back that's kind of Hogue's overmold rubber. It's very comfortable. The handle geometry is a little bit unique. It's a little bit wider and thinner, but so far it works really well for me. Alright, so as you guys know, I often completely forget to record or talk about sheaths at all, especially earlier in my channel. It's something that I'm going to work on now. But surprisingly, this Hogue sheath is one of my favorite parts of this whole knife system, and really is what makes it a system. So check this out. Material is probably, again, a Zytel glass reinforced nylon. It's not Kydex. It's got MOLLE attachment or for your belt here, and if you'll notice, I don't know if it'll pick this up, those are Polidot fasteners. Polidot fasteners are very premium. They're very expensive tactical, push dots, because they will not pull off in any direction except for one. In this case, they will only, just a second here, they'll only lift up with this tab. They will not release the other way. I mean, these are really tough. And that makes this, not only for your belt, but also for MOLLE attachment, just incredibly versatile, very premium. But that's not the coolest thing about the sheath. Jimbo's about to knock my tripod here because he's a dingus. The coolest thing about the sheath, I'm going to have to get up and show you up close here. Check out these paddles. To release this sheath, you push down on the paddle and it releases with an audible click. You can put it in either direction. When you push it in, you get this click. And from either direction, you can pop it out. Alright, so super handy, super versatile. It'll work in either direction, and there's no rattle. This thing will never come out accidentally. I cannot, in my mind, envision any situation ever where this would come out. It's really in there until, pop, you hit that little lever. Oh man, what? All right, so that kind of, usually I don't talk about the whole knife in my initial review, but I want to bring it all together here. This sheath represents the entire knife package in a very easy way, because when you have this sheath in hand and you look at the details, you look at the thought that was put into this, you can see that they paid attention to every single little detail of this knife sheath. This knife sheath, in my opinion, is probably the only knife sheath that I've ever got from the factory on a knife that is perfect. Literally, I don't think that anybody will ever make a custom Kydex sheath for this knife, because I think this sheath is so good. I have never given anything such high praise on my channel initial review as I did this knife. Now, why I said that represents the knife in the whole package is, as you've already seen with the blade and everything, the fit and finish on this knife is beyond any production knife in its price category. There are no grind lines. There's no coating, so they're not hiding errors. I don't care that knives have grind lines, all right? I don't want anybody to mistake that. Beckers have machining marks. They get covered with the coating. I could not care less because it doesn't affect the performance. But if you want to have a nicer finish on the knife without the coating, it's going to take more time. It's going to cost more. It takes more attention to detail. If you're trying to get a really cheap, awesome knife, it's not worth that extra effort because you just slap the coating on it, it's good to go. But as you saw when I was working on this thing, every edge is chamfered. There are no rough edges. The grinds are perfect, front and back. They hand sharpen these, hand strop these before shipping them out. They do a lot of handwork on these knives. I don't know if Hogue makes them in-house or if they're paying someone to make them, but whoever makes these, they are made perfect. Fit and finish on this blade is like that of a much more expensive knife. It's 154 cm. Hogue's not playing around with the typical entry steels, with the steels that everybody else is using. There are other knives in 154 cm of this size, but it's not super common. What originally attracted me to Hogue knives, I only knew that they made gun grips and slip-on covers or whatever. And I like them a lot. I really like Hogue grips. They are utilitarian, awesome. Now they also make premium grips. I'm never in too much of the premium market. I'm more into the cost-effective, tough works market. All right, so that's always been Hogue to me, for their Hogue overmold rubberized grips. And then I saw their folders. Oh my gosh. Their folders, when I first started, seemed to be really expensive to me because I was not into the premium market at all. I had never even seen the premium market. So they seem to be super expensive to me, but they're so nice. Again, fit and finish is just on the money. And I didn't even know that they did a fixed blade. Then at SHOT Show, I saw that Hogue was doing these fixed blades, and I looked up close at them, and I was like, wait a second. Their bigger fixed blade is made out of A2. This is made out of 154 cm. And I look up close at it. It blows my mind. I don't know how the knife community is not more familiar with these knives, with the attention to detail. Just phenomenal. I'm going to wait to talk about this more until I do my full review. Obviously, I've used this knife more than I normally use knives for an initial impressions video. But guys, I am just really excited about this product, and I can't help it. And nobody's reviewing it. Why is nobody talking about this thing? And their other fixed blades, phenomenal. Their axe, Hogue, see, it looks to me like Hogue being completely separated from the knife community is figuring out all of their own pricing, materials. They're doing everything on their own without influence from the knife community. That lack of influence from the knife community means that the knife community hasn't really caught on to them yet, which they will. They have to. You can't ignore, in my opinion, the value that's offered in this thing. But they're doing everything differently. The axe, the way the axe mounts on your belt and everything's different. But it all makes sense, and they do everything so nice. So, make sure to check out Hogue. You can find them, I'm pretty sure, on DLT Trader, Knives Ship Free, stuff like that. I'm going to put all kinds of descriptions in the box below. I'm going to be using the crap out of this knife, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, this thing is so lightweight that it might become my EDC. I might just carry this around because I work for myself and I do what I want, and I don't care about carrying a fixed blade everywhere every day. It can be highly useful. What a package. For military guys, having absolute retention like this is invaluable. You can't put a value on it. It's just on the money. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Stick around for my full review. It'll probably be out in the next couple of months. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, but I'm just so stoked about Hogue. I don't know how I didn't know they existed. I don't know how my viewers don't know that they existed. They exist, and you need to check them out. So, let me know what you think in the comment section. I look forward to talking to you guys, hearing what you think. Hogue is a company that's really starting to pay attention with their knives, and they'll probably be watching the comments below. So let them know what you think. I love having you guys, and I hope that you have a great day.